The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina. The next pick goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
So Michael Jordan, who right now is in Bloomington getting ready for the upcoming Olympics, and this man is a can't miss at whether a guard spot or the forward at 6'6", 195 pounds, comes out after his junior season from North Carolina.
And, you know, he makes them when they count. He can do it in traffic. He can do it under tremendous control. He's a great, great creator. In the mold of a Dr. J. Not as big, but he's in that class, and I think he's going to make a great, great pro. He's what you call the people's player. People love to see this young man perform.
One thing is certain, he has a bright future ahead of him.
Let's hope so. You know, professional level is very hard work, and I think I'm dedicated enough to work hard and try to be the best basketball player I can. And you know, it's good to get comments from everyone, and that's inspiring to go out and keep working hard.
How's the transition been from college to the Olympic experience and now to the NBA?
Well, I think it's been pretty easy. You know, I think the Olympic was kind of pre-professional level. It was fast-paced, it was physical, and that's just the type of NBA game is. And, you know, coming on this level is a brand new start for me, and I have to start from the bottom and work my way up.
Has been brought to bear on this young man's shoulder. He is in a very awkward position. As we said, we know he must be excited, but the position that they're putting this kid in here, building up everything on this team around him is going to be something that only a Michael Jordan probably can own up to.
Watley quickly in front court to Jordan, looking for penetration, spin move, hangs in the air off the glass to the end. And that's what Wes and I were talking about in the pregame show. And at the ball, Jordan to the hoop, hang in the air, score! To get back, Jordan goes up, puts it, and is fouled by Bradley.
Contest the shot as we see. Dudley was not fooled by a great move by Michael Jordan. He just goes up and just puts a hand up. And a hand is part of the...
Jordan to the line for his first free throw. He gets it. Line down low, they go to Woolridge. Outside, Watley with the J. Too short. Rebound, Jordan. He got it. Into the front court. Jordan with the pass off to Corzine. He scores.
I think it's been pretty easy.
That was a letdown.
Live at the Felt Forum in New York, the time has elapsed for Seattle picking fifth. Seattle got that fifth pick, by the way, in a trade with New York. Here's a recap of who's been selected so far. And, gentlemen, it's a virtual complete basketball team, minus, say, a point guard, with Robinson at center and Gilliam and Williams at forward. Hobson's at a shooting guard. So it's a pretty good group of players. Maybe someday all-stars in the NBA. Let's go now to the fifth pick in the NBA. And here's David Stern.
The Seattle Supersonics select Scott Pippen of Central Arkansas.
Scott Pippen from the University of Central Arkansas. He's 21 years old, and that's right, folks, you probably have never heard of Scottie Pippen, but believe me, the NBA scouts heard about him, and Bill Russell was talking to people about this young man a few months ago, Rick Barry. I remember that Bill had his eye on him early out there, and he's, of course, out of the Seattle area, and Bill is moving around, and he liked him a great deal for Sacramento, but he's going to Seattle.
Well, Larry, you said that this is a big player to come up in the draft, a big surprise for a lot of people, but not for you.
No, I don't think so. And when I looked at him on tape, I saw a lot of tape when I was in Atlanta last week watching him play. You know, what's interesting about him, he was recruited out of high school. He was 6'1", and he was recruited as a guard, and between his freshman and sophomore year, he grew 6 inches and is now 6'8". I mean, here's a player who's coming out, and you can look at the physique on this young man. He's really put together extremely well. He handles it well. In fact, you can see that stuff right there at the Aloha Classic in Hawaii after the season was over with. He won the slam dunk contest amongst a lot of other taller players out there. He's an outstanding talent. He can pass it, he can shoot it, he can handle it. He's the type of guy that can go out and play a point guard. And
going to the podium now for a special announcement. You'll find out the same time we do. Back to the podium.
Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a trade involving first-round draft picks, and I'm going to ask Rod Thorne, the Vice President of Operations of the NBA, to report the draft to you. To report the trade to you.
The following trade has been consummated between Seattle and Chicago. Seattle trades to Chicago the 5th pick, the rights to the 5th pick in the draft, Scott Pippen, in exchange for the rights to the 8th pick in the draft, Olden Polynice.
by Jordan. Here's Cat waiting for a foul call. As a result, he just stayed in front court, did not make the play. You can't do that. And as a result, the Bulls were able to fast break. Jordan off the steal. Michael Jordan gets to it. As we come up on 10 seconds remaining, he's fouled by Green. And the Bulls beginning to celebrate. And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship. The Bulls, greeted by a portion of this foreign crowd as they try to get back to their locker room. For the Lakers, a different story.
Here we are with Michael, surrounded by his mom and his dad, wife. Under the hat, that wasn't fair, but I'm covered with champagne, I can hardly see. Michael, what does it mean to you?
It means so much. I mean, not just for me, but for the team, for the whole city. It's been a 7-year struggle. I mean, when I first got to Chicago, we started at the bottom. And every year we just worked harder and harder until we got to it. And, you know, it's so gratifying. You know, I'm appreciated so long in my life. You know, for my family, for my kids, everything. It's the most proud day I've ever had.
We read that when they broached the subject of the "I'm going to Disney World" commercial to you, you said only if all my teammates are involved.
Yeah, I wanted that to happen, you know, for them. You know, they deserve it. Whatever I get, whatever financial situation I get from that, I'm gonna spread it amongst the team. I didn't want it. I want the team to have it. I want everybody to prosper from this whole event. You know, it took a team to get to this point.
Is there a sense of completeness and fulfillment for you now that might not have been there for all your other achievements before?
Well, I wanted to get here. If I never got here, I would never been disappointed about my career. But you know, it capped it off. You know, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the city. I'm just happy that I was able to be a part of history in the city of Chicago.
Is there a feeling of a passing of the torch, Magic Johnson, to you? And did you have any words with him toward the end of the game?
Well, I mean, we expressed our love for each other and love of competition. You know, he thanked me. He certainly was very glad for me. But passing the torch, I mean, the NBA's got so many players that represent them, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I think besides myself, David Robinson, Charles Barkley, all these other guys, is going to carry the label of the NBA from now on. And I'm just glad I'm a part of it.
Do you have a quick thought about your husband's feats of daring do here?
I'm just very proud of him, and I'm excited that they won the championship in Chicago. Very excited. He deserves everything.
What are you going to do next? How are you going to spend your off-season?
With my family, play a lot of golf. It's very nice. It's very nice.